why are we wasting time with all these other things? What AI is best? Welcome to our podcast studio. Nice to see you, Bernie. You flew in from the East Coast for the event, GHL Assembly. Yeah. Is this your first in-person event where you're going to have a booth and be sponsoring and that kind of thing?
Yeah, so I've done other masterminds for other marketing things where I've gone in and met people, and I've even done other ones where I've gone in and presented.
Yeah.
But this is I think probably the biggest one I've done where I've had a booth and presented and stuff like that.
So we're here today to talk about LeadIndicator, right? So I'll tell you from behind the scenes that one of the biggest questions I get from new agencies that we bring on is, what AI is best? Should I be using HighLevel's AI? Should I be using, they'll say things like CloseBot and that kind of stuff. And on occasion, some of them will know about LeadIndicator, but almost always is look, you need to stop using all of those things and start focusing on LeadIndicator, right? We'll send them the recording that we did a month or so ago. And as soon as they watch the recording, they're like, how do I get that? Can I still get the promotion? I was like, I don't think the promotion's run anymore, but reach out to them and I'm sure they'll figure something out for you. But immediately people are like, yeah, that's what I want. Can it do this? Yes. Can it do that? Yep. It can do that too. Yeah. Can it sell things? It can sell, right? It can do the works. Let's talk about how you found HighLevel. Cause your evolution is pretty amazing, right? You found HighLevel at one point and what was your goal?
Mine's kind of a long track into it because when I got started, I was not using HighLevel. I got started into lead generation was my first entry into the online space.
Okay.
And I bought some course that was showing as a really simple way to get started. It was you can build websites and get a call tracking number using CallRail, build them and do SEO and basically rent them out. So it was super simple. It was for beginners. It was basically rank and rent. I don't know if you are familiar. Those who know, if you don't, that's for another day. But I was doing that and I scaled that to 10 or 15K a month as a side hustle, right? And I started hearing about HighLevel as it's a way better system and you can do a lot with it. When I first heard about it, it was don't get started with it. It's just a big learning curve, right? But as I was trying to scale my agency, I was I want the right tools. And when I was doing this rank and rent stuff, a big part of it was customers or my customers who I'm basically selling them phone calls.
Okay.
A big thing would be yeah, you're not I'm paying for these phone calls, but you're not, I'm not getting enough phone calls. And I could be I can see you're getting 30 phone calls. You're just not answering them.
Right.
Right. And that's when I heard about HighLevel had this missed call text back. And that's what drew me to it. I was this would be amazing. And then I was it has everything in it. I was I can host the websites in it and stuff. So that was the big push that drew me to HighLevel.
That was your entry point.
Yeah, the entry point. And then that was right around the time when AI stuff started to come out, right? Because this technology didn't exist 2 years ago, right? Mm-hmm. And then I was okay, can we connect, the missed call text back to AI to respond? Once we text them back, can we continue the conversation, right? And I started getting into all these buying different courses and watching YouTube videos and finding different ways to, continue the conversation with AI through API keys and Zapier workflows and stuff. And, investing and spending money to learn how to do it. And that's where my business kind of evolved to stop doing the lead generation so much and just setting up AI, speed to lead automation, right? I was this is its own business, right? I was
by itself.
This is going to take off. And I found people doing just reactivation campaigns with AI. They're you can find, I was dude, because when I was doing lead generation, I was doing it for concrete and tree service.
Okay.
And I was once I found out about the AI stuff, I was dude, screw concrete and tree service. I was I could take this to anybody. And I was I'm going to go after mortgage and real estate. And I was I don't have to build websites. I can just reactivate their leads with AI.
Yeah.
And that's what I started doing. I was I was reaching out to mortgage, real estate, credit repair. I was guys, if you have a list of leads, we can reactivate them and book you appointments. And that was my real entry point using HighLevel and AI. Mm-hmm. And that's when it kind of started evolving into just I'm doing AI. And then throughout the years, it was okay, how can we make it better? How can it extract information? How can it add tags? How can we incorporate text to speech and stuff like that?
It just kind of evolved.
It just kind of evolved, yeah. So that's like kind of the short answer, long answer.
That's a fantastic story. Your missed call text back was literally like the top of the rabbit hole. And then you just kind of went down it and like, look at all these other things. And then it expanded into AI.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, you have LeadIndicator AI, right? Which is an extension off of HighLevel. It plugs in and it works different, better. It does a lot more than the HighLevel AI. What do you see is the vision for like the future of like where LeadIndicator is going to go?
For me, I want it to be like a huge, mega company. Like I have big dreams for it. Like I think down the road, we want it to be able to synchronize with other CRMs,
Okay.
Because we have a lot of people being like, can we integrate this with like Service Titan, or can we integrate this with like House Call Pro and stuff like that? And the reality is it wouldn't be that hard to make the switch to do that. And that's a huge market. So I think that is like down the road, that's kind of where we want to be.
Yeah.
And just really increase our user base, right? To the point where it's like, when you start Googling, it's like, what's the best voice AI out there? No one's even talking about Vappy or Synthflow or whatever. Like that's where I want to go. Like it's just get more and more users, start hiring more staff. And like, that's my dream with it.
I love it. I love people who have big dreams. The bigger the dream, then, the bigger the accomplishment. I'm looking forward to being able to see that for your company and for you. Your evolution, okay? Like, correct me if any of this is wrong, right? So you started with HighLevel for missed call text back. It expanded into the AI space, which eventually became LeadIndicator AI, right? You started your own version of AI outside of HighLevel that plugs into HighLevel. And now you have actual high-level agencies that are using LeadIndicator as well for theirs, right? Like when you first started this years ago, did you envision that this would be the path that you were on?
No, not at all. So like, as I said, like, so when we first got started, it was like lead generation, right? And then it was like, okay, let's set up AI for business owners, right? And then it was like, okay, since we have this kind of dialed in, let's just start selling sub accounts in our GoHighLevel, right? And we scaled that to over 100 sub accounts, and it was kind of dialed in. But then we kind of saw that like the real vision was like other GoHighLevel users, because just like being in the space and being in all these different groups and marketing groups, like a lot of people were like, oh, that looks great. Like, can I have it? We're like, yeah, we have a get a sub account. Like, I don't want to be on your sub account. Like, I have my own GoHighLevel agency that's branded with the way that I want it. I just want that tool. So we spent a lot of time making it so that they could basically install it into their GoHighLevel and white label it themselves and have like documentation for themselves and onboard it themselves. And so that's basically what we spent the last like 9 to 12 months doing. So like we have two sides of our business, right? We still have our own GoHighLevel agency, like a white label GoHighLevel agency, which is like more geared towards businesses who want to use the AI and for like lead nurturing and appointment setting and stuff. But the other side of our business, which is now a lot bigger actually, is basically reselling that AI tool to other GoHighLevel agencies so that they can use it in their GoHighLevel and they can white label it and make their own SaaS, really.
So this journey where you went from being just a high level agency selling sub accounts with AI capabilities to now being able to sell your AI to other high level agencies for their own agency, like that transition, how long was that? Was it a year, 2 years? It was relatively short, if I remember right.
Not even. It was maybe like 6 months to a year, right? Like we started it at like, it probably took 6 months was when we just made that decision where we were like, okay, this is like a really big market. And then probably a year where it was like, now we have all the assets where we can do this. And we took a lot of like inspiration from like, who are the other ones doing this? I like, because I had used Zappy Chat, right? And I was like, okay, what are they doing? I was like, they're providing the templates and the onboarding and like assets. I was like, if we can do that, because a lot of people who want to use it, it's like, we can't just give them the tech. They need it. They need to know how to like use it and be able to sell it.
Yeah.
So I was like, all right, we need to have a really good onboarding. We need to have support documents. We need to have templates and stuff like that. So not just me, but like me and, my team, we spent a lot of time like making like click-through demos,
Makes sense.
that kind of stuff. And that, we were grinding. That was like a 3 or 4 month thing, just making all of that stuff out there because like, it didn't exist, right? It was a brand new space, but we're like, if we spend the time to make this and be the only ones who have it or be the first ones to have it, people will sort of gravitate to us and we'll have all that, like we'll have all the assets that we can just give away and people will be able to use them and it'll help them sell it.
Yeah, that's fantastic. The evolution for like our relationship is, you started as a client of ours and we were providing support. And interestingly enough, in our community where we have, 500-600 students, they all were like, you need to interview Bernie from LeadIndicator. I was like, wait a minute, he's a client of ours.
Yeah.
Right? Like, and then of course we reached out and I was like, dude, people are asking about you, right?
Yeah.
Like your name is becoming popular in the community. So much that they're like, can you interview Bernie? Can you interview Bernie? And I was like, all right, I'm interviewing Bernie, right? Let me call him, right? And then it kind of expanded from there. Now, full transparency, we have an AI team that we've had in our company for quite a while. The number one AI that our team is building and getting requests for is LeadIndicator.
That's awesome.
That's over SendFlow, over CloseBot. Even today, I had a meeting with a potential client, and he's like, I want to start doing AI. I'm looking at CloseBot. I'm looking at SendFlow. I'm looking at HighLevel. What is your thought on all three of those? I was like, LeadIndicator. I'm like, what? What's that? And I was like, here, go watch this video, LeadIndicator. It's like 2 hours long, this video, by the way. And people are watching it, and then they're coming back and they're like, I want that, right? And that person literally texted me right before I picked you up, and he's like, how do I get LeadIndicator? I was like, well, I'll talk to Bernie today, right? And literally, it's like, it's becoming like the number one requested AI, right? So much that like, I won't spoil the news and go into detail. Like behind the scenes, there's big things happening, right?
Yeah, for sure. There's a lot of moving pieces where like, I'm not really sure what's going to happen in the next like month or so, or even the next few weeks. But yeah, we've been talking about like potential like mergers and acquisitions and stuff like that. So yeah, it's exciting times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we're not going to spoil it, but I'll tell you it's very positive. So
yeah,
stay tuned for that. Well, I'm excited for you, man. And on top of all of that, you just had a brand new baby.
Yes, I did. So just a little over a month ago on June 3rd, my wife gave birth to our first son, or first child, just son, to Vincent Bernard on June 3rd.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Can we show a picture of him? I have a picture.
Yeah,
can we show it on the screen?
Yeah, hell yeah.
All right. Put it on the screen right here.
Okay.
This is beautiful Vincent Bernard. Excuse me. He's just a little replica of Bernie. He looks literally exactly like Bernie.
Thanks, I appreciate it.
He's gorgeous. And he's got a little LeadIndicator shirt on. So
yeah, you were like, send me a picture, and I was like, I'm waiting for the swag to arrive before I send the picture.
And you were like, he just peed in it.
Yeah, immediately. Yeah. Like within 1 minute of putting it on, he peed all over.
Yeah, and it won't be the last outfit he pees in, I'm sure.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, congrats, man. So LeadIndicator.ai, that's your website, right? Now, remind me, LeadIndicator.ai is the website for like if somebody wants to be within your sub account. But for an agency, is it go.leadindicator.ai?
Yeah, so that's how we had it initially, right? Because it's like dude, when I got started, I kind of just like go. And that's my advice to everybody. It's like, you don't have to have everything perfect, guys. For the longest time, I didn't have a regular website. And I was like, well, now we're selling to agencies. So we just made a go.leadindicator.
Okay.
We just like reinvested and made a proper website. So now you can go to our regular website, leadindicator.ai.
And sign up as a high-level agency.
And so what we have is like, we have a tab called agency, and so it's like geared towards like high levelers. If you go to our regular, like I think we're calling it like our lead gen system.
Okay.
And that's like if you want a sub account with us. Yeah. So we make it like on that website, you can get either one. You can get a sub account with us, or you can buy what we're calling like the white labeled agency version, where that's basically a plugin for you to plug it into your own high level system.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, so recently you partnered up with Josh Rosenfeld, I think is his name.
Yeah.
How'd that relationship come about?
So Josh Rosenfeld, he was basically the first, what I'm missing the term, like dedicated or official partner of CloseBot.
Okay.
Right? Like, they have like, if you go there and you're like looking for help or support, he was like the first partner or like a promoted partner who like you could go to for help. So I already knew who he was from like years ago when I was like, getting into the AI space and learning different systems and stuff like that. And he had a free group on school with videos and stuff. And I was like, this guy knows what he's doing. And for me, when I was like, I want to promote my stuff, I basically booked a call on his calendar, and it costs money, like, cause he's got thousands of people following him. Yeah. So you had to pay to book a call. I was like, I'm going to pay to book a call. And I was like, hey, do you want to do some sort of joint venture? I was like, we can promote my stuff. We can help build stuff. And he was like, yeah, I've never used it though. He was like, he's like, I signed up and I never used it because he had signed up with me, but he never used it on the trial. And I was like, well, I can walk you through it. And he was like immediately obsessed with it. He's like, oh, this is great. So fun fact, he started like promoting it and CloseBot was pissed. Yeah. They were like, hey, you can't be like one of our like official partners and like promoting another tool. Yeah. And so he had to kind of like make a decision and be like, well, I'm going to just go with another tool. And so from there, we've had a pretty good relationship of just like promoting the software, but then like building snapshots and stuff like that. Cause he's really bright and he can just like, he figures it out really quick and can build like amazing stuff. So just, he helps me and I help him and stuff like that.
Yeah. It's interesting how you mentioned CloseBot because like we started with, when it comes into AI space, with HighLevel, and I was blown away with the HighLevel AI. Then we found CloseBot. And I was blown away with CloseBot. I was like, wow, this is better than the HighLevel
great.
one.
Yeah, it's good.
And, my complaint always was that, they can't do voice. Right? Yeah. And HighLevel wouldn't outbound dial. So then we found SendFlow, which for those watching, I don't know if you are aware of it, but HighLevel uses SendFlow for their voice AI. So I found that pretty interesting, but it couldn't outbound dial. But it was very difficult with those three, even though individually by themselves, they're very, good tools. It was difficult to get them to all talk to each other, right? Right. CloseBot wouldn't talk to SendFlow. SendFlow wouldn't talk to CloseBot. And CloseBot, we could get it to talk to HighLevel. So we had to use HighLevel to get it to talk to each other. Right. Which took days and days of work, right? And so then when we found a LeadIndicator and started using it, it's like my mind was blown. I was just like, why are we wasting time with all these other things? Yeah. Literally, like instead of having a voice bot through HighLevel or SendFlow, and then having a conversational bot through CloseBot or HighLevel, we have one bot through LeadIndicator, and it doesn't need to talk to anything because it's the one bot.
And it takes 10 minutes to build.
Literally, like I don't even have to write a prompt. Yeah. Right. And maybe we can put some slides or put some screenshots on the screen for people. But literally, I don't have to write a prompt. I can just be like, here's what I want you to do. Right. And the AI will write its own prompt for me. And then we just attach a voice. Also, there's endless amounts of voices. I can put my voice on there. I can put your voice on there. I can put the little New York Bronx girl on there that we use. Right?
Yeah. Zuri.
Yeah. Yeah. I can link it to my 11 labs. I can have it, dynamically book appointments, cancel appointments, reschedule appointments. Right. It knows who it's talking to as long as that information is inside a HighLevel. I mean, the amount of things that it can do is even more than I can remember. I'm still to this day, even after using it for so long, that finding things that it can do. Like, I don't know if I told you this, it left a voicemail for somebody the other day, right? Yeah. So like it outbound dialed and I was like, oh, they got a voicemail. It's probably going to be blank. And I listened to it and like, nope. It's like, hey, Tom, this is Sally from this business and just wanted to leave a message and say, I saw that you had signed up for our thing and call me back. Here's my number. And I was like, blown away.
Yeah, and you didn't tell it to do that.
I didn't. Yeah. Right? Yeah. It started to talk. It realized that's a voicemail greeting. So it stopped. It waited for the beep, beep. And then it's like, hey, Tom, this is Sally from ABC Business. Yeah. Right? I'm reaching out. And I was like, mind blown. It was like almost like Skynet. Like it just started evolving on its own.
And what's crazy is it's only getting better, right? Mm-hmm. It's like right now, it's the worst it'll ever be. Yeah. Right. And like, I mean, that's with like all the AI stuff out there, but I feel like we're just a little bit ahead of the curve right now. Yeah. So it's like with all the stuff it can do, it's only going to be better. Right.
Have you started playing around with HighLevel's new MCP?
A little bit, but I haven't really dug in yet, but I've seen it. I've watched the videos and stuff like that. I'm really excited about that because that's really going to be where we take it to the next level, I think.
Literally, yeah. You could just have the AI then go tell other tools to do A, B, and C.
Update your pipelines everything. And do all kinds of stuff. Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's going to be awesome.
Yeah, I'm excited for it as well. In fact, I have it on my agenda for my 23-hour flight to Asia to sit there and do some more research and learn more about it.
Yeah, I think the people who take the time to like sit down and learn that and implement it, that's really where you'll be able to take your like high level SaaS or AI agency to the next level. And that's where you'll be able to like charge a lot for like AI infrastructures and builds and stuff.
Are you going to Level Up Summit this year?
I don't know. I should, and
You
probably
should
I think I
definitely
will
go.
be. Yeah.
Put your Lead Indicator shirt on, put a
Yeah.
QR code on the back,
Yeah.
and just go. It's a great networking event, especially it's going to be packed full of thousands of high-level agencies.
100%.
Maybe even run like a little promotion of some sort,
Yeah.
like get started, or have your QR code go to a quick little video. Who knows? I don't know. There's countless ideas. And just start promoting it. I would be surprised if you didn't come away with a decent amount of business from it.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I see you there.
Of course.
Yeah.
We already got our tickets. We got our hotel. We got our flights.
Well, so you're just organized. Like,
I have a wife that just, I'm like, hey, I need to get A, B, and C done. She's like, okay. And then a week later, she's like, I booked it all. I'm like, booked what? She's like, Dallas and so forth. Do you want to? I was like, dang, you already did that?
that's awesome.
Yeah. Like she's like my right hand, right? Like
That's amazing.
yeah, she's my partner in life. She's my business partner. It's the works. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Well, fantastic, man. I appreciate you coming on the show. Is there anything you want to say to people watching?
I don't have anything off the top of my head, but if you haven't used Lead Indicator yet, definitely try it out. We have a free trial, so there's really no risk.
Yeah.
You get a 14-day free trial and even a 21-day free trial if you sign up for the annual plan. So I know we've been hyping it up, but that's because it's
legit.
It's legit. It's like if you're trying to do anything with AI, you got to try it out.
Yeah.
Right.
I will tell you, there's HighLevel's AI, there's Synflow's AI, there's CloseBot's AI, and then there's Lead Indicator's AI, right? Night and day, completely different. You'll be blown away when you use it. When somebody asks, I'm like, listen, for the amount of money you spend on CloseBot, amount of money you spend on Synflow, just go to Lead Indicator. You spend it one time instead of spending it twice, and you get 5 times the AI.
Yeah.
So awesome, man. I appreciate you coming on the show.
Yeah, I appreciate you having me on.
Thank you. All right, guys, make sure you follow and subscribe and hit the bell and the likes and the thumbs up and all that BS. I don't know what it's called, but you guys do. So thank you. See you in the next video.